Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear learners. This is me, your English subject instructor, Zia Hamid. A very warm welcome to English grade 11 and to the Chase Academy. Dear learners, I hope that you're doing great. Today we are going to talk about a student's learning outcome of reading. This is our lecture 6C in the series of lecture 6, and the SLO under discussion is reading to analyze application, letter, or report, summary, biography, or autobiography. So, the purpose of this SLO is to make you good readers so that you can analyze, you can assess, you can actually pass judgment, analysis, you can talk about the text, you can talk about application, you can talk about letter, report, summary, biography, or autobiography. All these are different text types. So when we are reading such text types, we need to get most out of them. So it means we need to analyze them. We need to talk about how they are written, what is the format, what is the structure, how they are made, what is the main idea or theme in these kind of texts, and what is the purpose of these texts. So all of these texts, as you can see, they are non-fiction, be it report, letter, application, etc. So they are non-fiction texts. So it means that when we are analyzing these type of texts, they're different than analyzing fictional texts. So obviously we are not going to cover everything that is mentioned over here. We are going to just talk about application, letter, and there's a sample report as well. So we can see that how we can read these kind of texts in order to analyze them. So this is the purpose of this SLO, and this is how we are going to approach it. So for the vertical linkage, this is your vertical linkage of grade 10, and this is directly linked. As you can see over there, you also had the SLO of analyzing and reading all these different types of texts that are over here, mostly essays, summary, and biography, etc. Now, dear learners, when we are talking about reading, yes, we need to focus on the text and we need to read everything thoroughly from start to end. So let's talk about analyzing. What do we mean by the term analyze? This is our main keyword and action verb in the SLO. Analyze means to examine something, to put something under microscope methodically and in detail, typically in order to explain. Why do we analyze? For explanation and interpretation of our own understanding and in our own words. So this is what we mean by to analyze, or the process is called analysis, and the verb is analyze. So I hope that this is clear. Now, yes, students, in your previous classes, you must have done analysis on poetry, you must have done analysis on different types of non-fictional texts. So here today we are going to analyze this sample complaint letter. This is a complaint letter. As we know, letters are of different types. So this is a complaint letter, and we know about the structure. We have talked about it over and again. This is in the full block format because everything is on the left side of the form of the paper. This is called a full block letter. So first let's talk about the structure. Here you can see the address of the sender and the address of the recipient, and in between you can find the date on which the letter is written. Then salutation, dear sir or madam, because you are not sure about the gender, so you can use this trick. You can mention either both of them with slash or the word, the conjunction or. Then you have your passages. Okay, this is a complaint letter. Let's read it. I recently ordered a new grammar book called Sing Your Way to Perfect Grammar by Madonna Carey. It's a textbook with a corresponding CD and the ISBN number, the international book number. And the number is mentioned. My order number is XYZ, ordered on March 9, 2010. The book is not in good order and the CD is not working properly. So in the first paragraph, the writer of the letter actually mentioned the purpose and the whole issue in the opening paragraph. When I received my order in the mail, I opened the box and found that the packaging was not thorough and the CD was actually not firmly in its case. The book seemed to have been damaged even before I had opened the cover. When I examined the contents, I found that the book had a torn back cover and pages 14 to 17 were missing. Later, I tried the CD but could not get it to work either on my computer or the computers of my friends. To resolve the problem, I would like you to credit my Visa card for the amount charged for the book and CD. Also, I had to pay shipping charges when the package arrived, so I would like to be reimbursed for this amount as well. That could be in the form of a credit to my card or as a check. Since I paid for it in cash, I have already bought another book from a different retailer because I needed it quite urgently. I would accept a voucher or credit for the other materials if that is your policy. And at the end, when everything is mentioned, your recommendation is also mentioned, then there is the closing paragraph. Thank you in advance for taking care of this matter. I have always used books from your series and would like to remain a loyal customer. So this is a very good conclusion and a very good closing paragraph. Then best regards, and then your signature with your name. So this is a complaint letter. Notice that even the language is quite formal. The language is formal. The tone is very much optimistic. It is not violent and aggressive like people always complain in such matter. But we have to stick with the correct language use. The language, the structure should be correct, and it is also following a structure. So what do you learn from this complaint letter? Now, can you write a complaint letter by your own? If we talk about the structure, we have talked about the structure, that this is in the full block format. It is divided into different paragraphs. There's salutation. You can also add a subject if you like, and the different addresses, the sender's and receiver's address, followed by a date in the middle. So this is how you analyze a letter, and this is how you read so many different letters and then analyze it so that you can write your letters in a better way. All right. So this was the complaint letter. Now, here is a letter to your younger brother advising him to pay attention to his studies and avoid bad company. Now, what kind of letter is this? Previously, this was a very formal letter. All right. So this is a formal letter, but now we are going to analyze this informal letter. So, for exam purposes, this format is followed: examination hall, because this is where you are talking to, this is where you are currently at that time. Examination hall, comma, city ABC, October 13, 2021. Then, no need to mention the subject or any kind of subject. Just start with salutation, however you like, since this is an informal letter. I have just received your progress report from your college. I am shocked to see that you have miserably failed in English and mathematics. Your attendance is also below 60%. It seems that you are neglecting your studies. You have definitely fallen in a bad company. If this state of affairs continues, you will fail in your final examination. So you should mend your ways before it is too late. Now, the whole essence, the main idea is mentioned here at the start. The purpose of writing the letter, you're going to advise him. So you have to mention his current condition and let him aware that you are aware of the whole situation. We have great expectations from you, but the company you keep nowadays disappoints all of us. You are obviously of the fact that bad company and bad habits can ruin the life of a person. It is useless to cry over the spilt milk. As a student, your duty is to study well and prove your worth in your examinations and co-curricular activities. This is the crucial period of time, of life. If this time is wasted, then loss can never be repaired. There is enough time for enjoyment in future. This is the closing paragraph. I would advise you to avoid your bad company and concentrate on your studies. That will surely make all of us happy. You will also be able to perform better in the next examination. And this closing, I hope you will not take my advice otherwise. Yours sincerely, XYZ, or you can also write it over here at the left side of the paper. So students, you see that the letter is actually in a very, it's very good content of the letter. And you can see that everything is mentioned in a very good order. First, the base is maintained in the first paragraph where you are taking him into your consideration and into your confidence, and then you mentioned the whole point and the consequences of such bad habits which made him having a very low score in the examination. So your content and the paragraphs should be in the correct language structure, and they should be of good matter. So this is a letter. Now, can you write a letter like this? Can you write a letter to your father asking for some fund for books? Can you write a letter to your mother letting her know that you're doing good? For example, if you have fallen sick in the past, let her know that you're doing well. So you can write all of these different scenarios, these letters, these informal letters, following this pattern that we have discussed over here. All right, let's talk about reports. So students, reports are actually a conclusion of some event. A report is actually a formal thing. This is a very formal report, and this report is on Sports Day. A recent annual Sports Day event happened in your school, and now you are compiling it in a formal report to let people know what was in the sports event, how did everything happen, who were the guests, what games did you play, and all that. So the whole formal summary of a day can be included in the report. For example, first you introduce the whole event. Sports Day at Ikra Public School was a highly anticipated event that took place on 24th of July 2023. The day was filled with excitement, enthusiasm, and a spirit of healthy competition. Students, teachers, and parents came together to celebrate the importance of physical activity and sportsmanship. The event featured a variety of athletic competitions, team sports, fun activities designed to engage participations of all ages and skill levels. Then how the whole event was prepared, what went through, what is the background, inauguration, athletic events that were there with their accurate mentions. You can mention the winners, the runner-ups, the second and the third person that won the competition, different kinds of prizes, events, food, etc. You can mention all of these things in your report. So I've made it very clear that reports, now the report can be scientific, it can be on an event, it can cover a conference, it can cover events like these sport event. So you can write reports on all of these different scenarios. All right, now, yes, let's look at some points. Let's consider them whenever we are analyzing something. So whenever we are analyzing something, some text, first, we choose a specific element or area to study. What are we studying? Then examine and interpret data that is there, reaches conclusions based on evidence, discuss the significance of elements, discuss how elements connect, and may discuss advantages and disadvantages. So all these things are very much important. You have to first understand what the area is about and how the data can be interpreted in your way. If it's an informational text, you can mention the statistical figures and statistical data. Reaches conclusions based on evidence. You can reach on conclusion according to your interpretation, and then discuss the significance of elements. What are the different things mentioned over here? So all these points are very comprehensive and universal whenever you are analyzing something. For example, you are writing an essay on some analysis on some information, or you can write your analytical reports, your analysis, you are analyzing a story, a fictional, or you can analyze a biography or autobiography. So you can mention all these events and dates, important information, key features, elements, and In case of informational and explanatory text, you can mention the disadvantages and also advantages in their right order. All right. So students, in chapter number 6, I guess, you have all these different kinds of questions to answer after the last lesson by Alphonse Dudon. Why do you think the old men of the village were present in the classroom during the last lesson? First, you have to read the comprehension, the last lesson, and then answer these follow-up questions. So this is your task. And now you have to pause the video if you're watching together in a class, or if you're watching it individually, read the text, the last lesson. If you don't have the book, find it on the internet, read the whole lesson, and then answer the following questions. All right. For further reading suggestions and recommendations, you can read Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor E. Frankl, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, or other texts like these. These are some reading recommendations so that you can read them and analyze those different types of texts. So these are your non-fictional texts. Now students, there's a sample report which we have just analyzed. That was just the half part of the report. The full report is available in the resources in that PDF form. You can download and read the whole report and analyze the report in your own way, writing a summary or writing a short passage. This is all about today's lecture, dear learners. Have a happy reading. I hope that you will practice your SLO as much as you can, especially the reading SLOs demand your effort and your reading. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the next video lesson. Allah Hafiz.